can be used in my laptop computer, but I can still use it in my cell phone. That's what I'm using in cell phone.
All right, Robert here.
I have a question for Bill Strand. Bill, it says today is Giving Tuesday.
Today is Worldwide Giving Tuesday. It's Worldwide Giving Tuesday. So
That's for everybody in the
it's
world.
For everybody. So every nonprofit organization is trying to solicit for Giving Tuesday. That's
Okay, so this
it's
isn't the
Friday.
not us.
double thing, right?
We
After Black Friday and Cyber Monday, we don't have any more funds to give on Giving Tuesday.
We'll mute them.
Bad timing.
So Regina, last year we did that one time as a club. We did the Giving Tuesday, and we did that as a club. The district does it, will do it too, but they usually do theirs in the spring. So
Yeah, 'cause I did it once and we got double or something.
right,
That's
Right.
the spring one.
and then
Not today.
The spring one will do that. They will double it up to, I think, $500.
Yeah, that's the one I want.
Okay, well, we don't have her, but we will.
Yeah. Oh,
Rotary model,
Service above
service
self.
above self.
Service above self.
please stand, put your hand over your heart, and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty
And justice for all.
for all. All right, let's have a moment's silence. All right, thank you. How is everyone?
Wonderful.
Fine.
That's great. I love your enthusiasm, Gina.
Chilly out there today.
I'm trying.
Everyone getting ready for the holidays now after Thanksgiving.
How was your Thanksgiving, Meddy? How was that pig?
We didn't have a pig this time, but we had a bushel of crab and 200 oysters.
Oh, be quiet.
God.
Yeah, you look a little heavier, Meddy. Gained a few pounds. Okay, I'm obliged to announce that we're recording this meeting, and I have a few announcements. The first one isn't a real good one. Al Pascal and his wife Lori have come down with COVID,
Oh, no.
and but it's not really bad. We've been exchanging text messages. He says it's mild symptoms, but they both feel very weak, just no energy. In fact, he said, I took a day off work. And Al's a hardworking guy, so you keep them in your prayers, and hopefully they're better in a few days.
That was his only symptom?
Yeah, according to the text, maybe he didn't feel like writing a long text, but he certainly pointed out that he just felt very tired.
Oh, he's good about it.
So, Paul, your reaction to that?
Well, I mean, it's just part of the the surge that we're seeing in COVID, uh, we've got more new cases on the Eastern Shore the past week than we've had since, I think, I forget now, April or so, or maybe it was June. And actually the most in Cape Charles. I think we had, I sent that email last night.
I don't get those emails, Paul.
I didn't get it either.
Probably because you haven't asked to be on the list.
Oh, this isn't a general broadcast to Rotary. It's your special list.
Right. The invitation was extended to all Rotarians, and some people said they wanted to get it, and others didn't. I think I sent it to a wider range at first, including you, Bill Payne, and then I asked in an email if you wanted to stay on the list, and I only kept people on the list that responded that they did.
I wondered why I stopped getting it.
So,
Well, I'll put Regina and me back on.
Yeah,
okay.
And
hopefully this is better.
yeah, so we'll keep an eye on Al. I told him I'd open a window and he could just yell out if he needed anything. Al lives across the street from me, and if he yells really loud, Chuck might hear him.
So he's in quarantine?
Well, he should be.
Well, yeah, I'm sure he is.
Yeah.
So there were 6 new cases in Cape Charles last week.
Ah,
Oh,
so
okay.
So
he
there are
and
2 of
Lori
them.
were 2. Look
Yeah.
who's here. John Burgess, always walking around. Hey, you're not going to beat COVID that way, John. John heard if you keep moving, you beat COVID. But speaking of Chuck Huber, guess who our new president-elect is?
Chuck?
Ducky boy.
Chuck is our new president-elect. Hey, Chuck, do you have a few words for the membership?
Well, I'm not going to joke about it.
Oh, why not?
Why not? Come on, Chuck.
I think Bill will tell you I was a little hesitant and I had a good sit down. Bill and I discussed the whole thing. And I have to say I felt a lot more comfortable with it after talking with Bill, especially knowing who the board of directors is right now and the people that sit in on the board meetings. And I'm almost begging you to stay. That really helped my decision too. So I appreciate people that have given me some feedback, and I'm feeling much more comfortable. I'm going to have help if and when I need it, and I will at some point need it. And I thank you all for giving me words of encouragement.
We got your back.
I just wanna
Congratulations.
say,
You hear that, Chuck?
What's that?
Did you hear what Regina said?
Yes, I did. Thank you, Regina.
and I just want to say that I'm really glad that you have accepted the position. I have great confidence that you'll do a good job, and I'm glad you're taking it seriously. So,
Yeah.
Unlike some people.
and you probably know Bill Payne well enough to know he doesn't always tell the truth.
Well, when the clincher was, I asked Bill, is Dr. Paul going to stay on as the treasurer? And he said, yeah. I said, okay, you just convinced me.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Well, of course, we're all delighted. And not only do you have the board behind you, Chuck, you've got the whole club. And really, it's a piece of cake. And you've got 6 months to get ready. So, and even that day, you've got some pretty strong members that will shore you up until you get your sea legs. So now one door opens and another door slams shut. And what I mean is somebody should consider relieving Chuck of the newsletter. And I know you're going to be reluctant to do it because Chuck does such an outstanding job of the newsletter. But, you know, it doesn't have to be exactly like Chuck's level of excellence on day one. We'll give you 2 or 3 years to catch up to Chuck's level. So I'm going to be making a call for a new newsletter editor, just as I made a call for the president-elect until we get one. And that one, you don't get combat pay for being the newsletter editor, but it's a fulfilling job. Last month was a Rotary Foundation month, and I hope in a few weeks we'll see that we have a few more benefactors on the list for Cape Charles Rotary Club. Because this is a crazy month, I thought I would review the calendar with you for December, because we have some on days and off days. Next week, Medi and Tom Godwin are going to present Medi and Tom's book. You're still on board for that, Medi?
Yeah, we're prepared to do that.
Given the current course and speed, you might be soloing on that, but hopefully we'll get Tom to show up. And you guys can do it, a dog and pony show. But so next week is Medi. The following week, we're going to have a tremendous presentation on diabetes from a Dr. Mac Bonner I came across on another program I'm active with. And I think you'll find that interesting, if not for yourself, for family members and friends possibly. The following week, the 22nd, is Christmas week, and we're going to take Christmas week off. So no meeting on the 22nd.
I'm finished. What am I supposed to do?
Reggie, I didn't hear you.
Insert
Okay,
Go down Dominican Republic.
Reggie, we're gonna put Reggie on mute. Okay. So, and then on the 29th is our annual meeting. And between now and the 29th, I'm gonna figure out what the annual meeting is. I've only been to about 10 of them, but Paul is my fallback on that, and I'll do my homework. But we're going to make our club official and it's a mid fiscal year kind of celebration, and there are some protocols that we have to follow. And then we're into the next year, and we'll have our holiday party on the 5th. So that's the December calendar. Any questions about the December calendar? Yeah, Bill?
Yeah, Bill, before that meeting on the 29th, the annual meeting where we present the incoming or the proposed board of directors, we probably need to have a quick board meeting to make sure we've got everybody else lined up that will either be on the board or be one of the club officers, because we supposedly present them all to the club at that time, I think. Isn't that right, Paul?
Yeah, don't we have a board meeting scheduled for next week?
Yeah.
Probably, yeah. I didn't have it yet.
Yeah, we have a board meeting on the 8th, and we'll have all that squared away.
Good. Okay, great.
Okay.
But thanks for reminding me, Bill. Now, hey, Chuck, did you notice what happened there? Chuck, I can't hear you, Chuck.
He's muted.
You're muted.
Unmute yourself, Chuck.
Just back and forth between board members sorting.
No, Bill, yeah, what happened there Bill Murphy was making sure I didn't screw up the annual meeting. I mean, this is a fail-proof system. We've got
Yeah.
some pretty smart guys on the board. I wouldn't look to me so much for support, but Strong and Murphy are killers. They won't let you stray too far from the trail. So
And I won't take it personally when I get corrected.
and we'll try not, and nobody ever laughs at you, although I've seen some laughing up a few sleeves. Now, this is very important. Bell ringing recruitment has been kind of tough. I'm sorry, Jackie. Oh, Jackie moved downstairs. And Alan's coming in too. I think, are you in now, Jackie? Okay. Jackie did not like being on mute.
Sorry, I'm late.
Hey, Alan.
Hey.
Guess what?
What?
We have a president-elect.
We do.
Yes.
Who is the lucky person? Great.
Hey, you, take a guess. Take a guess.
Jackie.
No way.
It's you, Alan.
No. Who is the person? I want to congratulate them.
Chuck Huber.
Chuck.
Yes, sir.
Let's see, I'm looking for you right there on the screen.
Yeah, I'm hiding. There I am, hand waving.
Where in heaven's name is Chuck? I don't see Chuck.
Right
Toward
here.
the middle.
Oh, there you are. Oh, man, front and center, of course. Congratulations, Chuck.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
And any way I can help you out, just let me know. It's a sincere offer.
I appreciate that, Alan. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome. Yeah.
Chuck Allen is another former president, so you got a lot of experience here.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I was talking about was the Salvation Army bell ringing recruitment. It's going slowly, and what I'd like you to do, if you feel you're able to bell ring this season, give me a call, because we only have about maybe 10 slots open, and trying to
Chuck, I want to congratulate you again, Chuck.
Yes.
So give me a call. My number is 757-390-7253. And we'll get you signed up. But we're good for this week. But we get a little week next week and the following week. But I thank all of you who have signed up so far. Be thinking about service projects. Unfortunately, Ebenezer Church did not necessarily accept our offer to help them out. And we'll just have to keep, looking for others. But I know, Regina, you were interested in maybe helping there, but that just didn't work out for them. Get your flu shots. And I have to ask, Randy, is Dave Kelly still interested?
Yeah, but he's wavering, but give it time.
Yeah, I understand. It's tough to get excited in front of a computer. But we'll be out of this, and he'll be on board in time for crab cakes in June. Okay, anything for the good of Rotary? We've got a few minutes before we bring Bill Stram on.
Bill,
Yes.
I think it's important, the thing that you brought up to me in an email, that you're going to supply surgical gloves for the bell ringing pot for Salvation Army. So you don't need to worry about handling that pot and the money that's in there that people are throwing in there. So wear your mask, and Bill will also supply the surgical gloves so that you don't accidentally get your hands around that pot and pick up germs or anything.
All right.
Actually, you don't have to touch the pot unless you're opening up at 10 o'clock when you move it outside.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, the support team will come get the money, and they'll put the pot inside the inside the food line. The only chance for probably a transmission of any kind of germ will be with the bell. So if you wear gloves, and we'll have rubber gloves, they'll protect you there. But if you are at all nervous about being out, ringing the bell, any of that, don't do it. Don't do it. There are a lot of ways that you can serve. There are a lot of other ways to volunteer. So we're not going to press on that. Okay. I'm going to have to.
I think Bill wants to say something.
Yeah,
sorry.
Bill, I have a quick question for you. If someone is supposed to follow you, or there's a blank slot before you or after you, does the lady at the service desk have the kettle with the money, or are we just putting it behind the door? Because we've done it both ways, and I never felt good leaving it behind the door by the carts.
I would say give it to the lady behind the desk. But this year, because of the nature of things, I'm going to make calls to make sure everybody shows up. And if somebody doesn't show up, I'll just go myself. So, I would put it behind the desk. Now I'm trying to do a share screen here, my friends. And what have we, no.
There we go.
Happy dollars. And we have a lot to be happy about today. And Chuck, why don't you kick it off? Because I know you're happy.
Yeah, my granddaughter started contractions this weekend with Lily, her soon-to-be daughter, and it was about a month ahead of her due date. So she went to the hospital, and they determined that they did not want her to deliver yet, if at all possible. So somehow they managed to stop the contractions. They sent her home and said, no more work. She needs to stop working. And she will do that. She's going to the doctor today. She'll get a new letter that she can give her employer that says she goes immediately on maternity leave, and she will need a lot of bed rest. It was kind of hectic this weekend because my daughter and her grandmother, my daughter's mother, could not go to the hospital because they would only allow obviously the lady in the hospital as well as the father. So it was only those two. So they were texting back and forth, and my daughter was relaying it to me. And then my granddaughter eventually got home around 3 or 4 in the morning. None of them got any sleep. They were up with her the entire day. So I left them alone on Sunday. And, but yesterday I was trying to get a status and I couldn't get in touch with anybody. So I was really freaking out, wondering what is going on. I was trying my daughter, my granddaughter, my ex-wife. I'm trying them all and not getting any answers. So thinking the worst. Finally, my daughter got back to me and said, we were all just catching up on sleep because we were up almost the entire weekend. So a lot went on, but it all turned out great. So I'm pitching in $10 because I'm happy today.
Good.
Well, thank you, Chuck, and we wish your daughter and your entire family well. We've got, what, like 30 days to go, right?
December 26th, she's due the day after Christmas, so just a little less than 4 weeks.
Well, look who's here just in time for Happy Dollars.
That's me. All right, good. I have $5 happy dollars. The reason I'm late, I was outside with my bees. I had to batten down the hatches because we have some terrible winds out there today. And it got me a little bit more work than I thought, so I was a little out. But I'm gonna go into the winter with 1 through 4 hives. And with my buddy Terry, we're gonna have 10 hives going into the winter.
Good for you, Stan, and thank you. I'm glad your bees didn't get blown away.
Me too.
We haven't acknowledged that Mark Clark is on. Hi, Doc. Are there any other happy dollars?
Yeah,
I
Bill.
have $5 happy dollars celebrating Chuck's commitment to serve as president-elect.
I'll put 5 with that, Bill. Same reason.
Yep. I'm in for to congratulate Chuck and offer support.
Boy, this money is coming in so fast. Slow down so we get it all. We've got Bill, we've got Alan, we've got Randy, and we've got Regina. There were 4 in quick succession.
$5 each.
Hey, Bill, can
I'll
you hear
add
me?
my $5.
$5 for me.
I'll add my $5 too for Chuck's election.
And then Medi's on board. Mary, did I see you waving your hand? I mean, Mary?
Yes, I have 10 happy dollars. 5 happy dollar for Chuck's daughter and a granddaughter being safe, and a $5 for Chuck being our next president.
Thank you, Mary.
And
Bill,
that's
can you hear me?
I'm going to ditto Mary. $10. 5 for Chuck and 5 for Chuck again.
Get Reggie, Bill. He's in the car now, I think, or something.
Yeah, oh, Reggie's there. Look at with his cool hat on.
Okay, unmute me. You muted me.
You're unmuted now. I think you're unmuted now.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that
Yes,
$20?
I received, $10 for Chuck, but I wanted to say congratulations to Chuck again. Although I did personally wish him congratulations, and know he's going to do a tremendous job. So I'm just looking forward to working with him.
Yeah, Reggie called me one day and was very convincing and trying to make me take the job, and I was trying to do a role reverse.
It was a stare down.
That's right.
Hey, Reggie will just have to wait his turn.
You won't have to wait long.
Add $5 for me for Chuck.
Okay, our guest speaker, but not really a guest, Bill Stram. And then, now here's the big money. The big money is just showing up.
I'm going to go easier there. I'm just going to go $10. 5 is for Chuck, and I've already congratulated him and thank him. And I've got $5 for West Virginia basketball. The women and the men are undefeated so far, but we play Gonzaga tomorrow night, so that could be the end of that.
Gonzaga.
There goes your undefeated right there.
Yeah, they're off to a good start, both of them, but they're testing the #1 team in the country tomorrow night, so that could be a little different. So we'll see.
Well, that's great. Chuck, again, you couldn't have timed it better because today is Giving Tuesday, and the Cape Charles Rotary Club really has given a lot. So we congratulate you again. And if there aren't any others, we'll introduce a man who needs no introduction. In fact, if it wasn't for this guy, I wouldn't be in Rotary.
You're rolling his eyes.
Yeah, Bill Stram kidnapped me and drugged me, and I was shanghaied. So, Bill, do you think you can pull it off?
I can try.
Okay.
Okay, so before I even go to the slide presentation that I have, I just want to prep everybody on this trip. So Diane and I had thought about this for a long time. It was a bucket list to go out west and visit national parks. So about a year and a half ago, we said, let's do it. And because to go to the parks and to get reservations, you need to make your reservations a year out. So we set it up and we said, okay, we're going to go fly into Salt Lake City and we're going to visit 6 national parks. The 6 national parks were Grand Teton, Yellowstone, Glacier, Arches, Canyonlands, and Zion. And we did it. 26 days and nights. I used points for every place that I stayed. And so there was a lot of driving. We flew in and got a rental car and drove about 4,600 miles in that time period.
Wow.
So let me start this off by saying we left here on the 8th of September, the day after Labor Day, and we flew to Chicago. They had thunderstorms. If anybody's ever flown into Chicago, which I hate, it's in the winter, some in the summer, but anyway, they had a lot of thunderstorms. And even though we were on an Airbus 330, it was all over the place because the winds and the thunderstorms. And then from there, we flew into Salt Lake City on an Embraer, 4 seats across, two on each side. And they had winds the night before of 85 miles an hour in Salt Lake City. There were so many trees down, like around the state capital. I mean, all over the place. That's how bad it was. And they had, and the temperature dropped out down there from like 65 degrees to in the 20s, and they had snow on the mountains. So anyway, that sets the scene. So I will go to okay, can everybody see that? Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. So we started on our trip. We spent the night in Salt Lake City and we started out the next day. We drove toward Jackson, Wyoming. That was our next stop. So on our way there, we went through Logan, Utah, and Garden City, Utah. And you can see on this first slide, there's some snow on the mountain there. That's really not a mountain, it's a hill. And then this is going up on Logan, the pass there over Logan and Garden City. And then here is Bear Lake. It's just a huge lake. It straddles both Utah and Idaho. Just wanted to show that. Beautiful country there. And then we got into Jackson. So Jackson was our stay. We stayed there 6 nights, and the intent at all of our national parks was to spend a minimum of 2 days in our national parks. So in Jackson, we hit Grand Teton, which is right there, and Yellowstone. So here's Grand Teton. Grand Teton has that. This is the the Grand Teton, this is the North Teton, this is the South Teton, and these other ones. Anyway, absolutely gorgeous. The snow was still there. You can see some remnants of snow here on this hill. It was 25 degrees the first night we were there. But it was great, wonderful. Grand Tetons, it's just gorgeous. So we spent 2 days going through Grand Tetons. Here are some more pictures. This is Jackson Lake, which is part of North Grand Tetons. This is looking back on the Grand Tetons, back over here. Again, another picture. And this is Signal Mountain. Now this looks down, if you look, this is looking south toward Jackson. This is called Jackson Hole. Jackson Hole, the word hole for trappers, and this was founded by a trapper, Ezekiel Jackson, and called the place Jackson Hole. But a hole to trapper was simply a high mountain valley that contains an abundance of game. And there is an abundance of game all over the place. Matter of fact, right outside of Jackson, the town of Jackson, which has a population of about 7,500, is the National Elk Refuge. And in the wintertime, the elk all come down from the high country, and they basically winter there. And there's 5,000 to 7,000 elk there, a big open area. Unfortunately, while we were on our trip, it was rutting season and the elk were not too plentiful to see. But anyway, this is about 1,000 feet. We're up about 1,000 feet above the valley here, looking out, and this is Jackson, the Grand Tetons over here. Again, another picture of Jackson Lake. A lot of hiking, a lot of camping. Almost all the campsites were booked. Even though remote campsites, people would line up and get their park in that morning so that they could camp that night. So it's just beautiful. Another picture showing this is, the split rail fence and the Grand Tetons. And then this is the town of Jackson. Jackson's in the town. There's a town square, and there's 4 corners on the square, and these all have these elk antlers on all 4 squares. And there's a partnership between the town and the local Boy Scouts there. The Boy Scouts go out and collect them through the national park, and they get paid for it, and the park gets paid for it. So that's downtown Jackson. Now this is a famous photo you see all over the place. I tried to get it. Of course, it was a big photo op. This is a Mormon. This is a Mormon farm and barn there, and with the Grand Tetons in the background. All right, so that's it. We have one more shot. This is Jackson Lake at the Coulter Bay Village, and they have a marina there. Jackson Lake's a pretty big lake, so with the Grand Tetons in the background. Next stop is Yellowstone. But before I get into that, I told you a lot of mileage. It's 60 miles from Jackson, the town of Jackson, just to the south entrance of Yellowstone. And so we were going to do that for 2 days. And then when you get into Yellowstone, it's like 30 miles between venues there. So anyway, a lot of driving. One more. Okay, I'm sorry. This is the Snake River. This goes right through Jackson Hole. We took a raft trip on the Snake River. Snake River is beautiful, a lot of fly fishing for trout there. And we saw bald eagles, we saw some pronghorn sheep. So this is the last picture on the Snake River. And Snake River is only like 2 to 3 feet deep. Downtown Jackson, that's the world famous Cowboy Bar right there. Here right over here is the entrance. And then this is now we're in Yellowstone. And this is Yellowstone Lake in the background. And this is the first thermal geyser that you come to when you come in from the south entrance. And this is the West Thumb Geyser Basin. And like I said, these are all over the place. So this is the West Thumb Geyser Basin. Another, this is still in the West Thumb, one of the geyser pools. Another one of the geyser pools. These geyser pools are pretty hot. So matter of fact, I just saw something where there were 2 people charged with cooking a chicken up there. So anyway, so that's the West Thumb. The West Thumb is 22 miles from the entrance. Okay, so this is the Yellowstone Falls, the upper falls of Yellowstone River. Yellowstone, there's so many rivers running through Yellowstone, but this is the upper falls, and we're up high. You cross over that bridge and you can go around over here. But anyway, that's the upper falls. The upper falls, you have to go around West Yellowstone Lake to get there. That's 37 miles from West Thumb where we were. So just to give you a thing. And then the next one is this is the Yellowstone, the Grand Canyon of the Yellowstone. And that's the upper falls there that you see that I just showed you a picture of. Looking back as part of the falls. These from the top of the mountains here down to the river of the Yellowstone River is about 3,000 feet. Here's another picture of the fall of the Grand Canyon of Yellowstone. Another one. And the last one. All right, then next, moving right along, we went next to the Upper Geyser Basin. And again, more geysers. I mean, they're all over the place. So, and you know, they're very popular. So this is located right next to Old Faithful. So of course we went to Old Faithful, and there's Old Faithful before she blows. She blows about once, a little over an hour now. And so we sat there on the benches that they provide because you can't go any closer than where we are here. And you can see all the other thermal geysers there. And then there she is when she blew. So that was well worth the wait. The next stop was, this is called the Great Fountain Geyser, which is near Firehole Lake Drive. God, I'm sorry. And we had to wait. They said it only blows about twice a day. So we waited until it blew, and we got wet. We got wet, but it was great. It was great. And then here, this is Firehole Falls, just up this road from. Just up the road from the Great Fountain Geyser. And you can see there are a couple of people there going down. I've got this on a slideshow, and that's why I'm sorry. So anyway, there's a guy there and a guy there. It's very steep, but anyway, very, very pretty. So we then went up to Mammoth Hot Springs, which is at the north end of Yellowstone. God, I'm sorry. And this is a huge area up here. And it's just got geysers all over the place. And again, now I'm going to stay here on the buffalo. You think you're going to see a lot of wildlife there, and we were very disappointed we didn't get to see a lot of wildlife. So on our last day, we went up to Bozeman and visited some friends in Bozeman. Diane's first cousin lives there, has lived there 20 something years. And we said we didn't get to go. We went to the Lamar Valley. They have two valleys in Yellowstone that usually have elk, bear, buffalo in them. And that's the Hayden Valley and the Lamar Valley. We went to the Hayden Valley and didn't see anything. The Lamar Valley, they had a road closed off because of avalanche there. And to get to that, you would have to drive like 80 miles just to get around it. So we wanted to go to while we were in Bozeman, we wanted to go to a thing called the Beartooth Highway. And so to get there, you had to go through Yellowstone and you had to go through the Lamar Valley. So we did this, and this is what we saw. Right there next in the Yellowstone, buffalo grazing right by the road. And here's one right by the car. They're very, they get this all the time. So then we got to the Beartooth Highway. And like I said, this is a 63-mile highway that goes up to 11,000 feet. It's closed from mid-October to mid-May because of the snow. And so here are the lakes. This is the Beartooth Pass summit at almost 11,000 feet. And the pictures don't do justice here, but you can see how barren it is. But this is looking down, not that far down to one of the lakes that you saw before. But this is how high we are. There's a valley down there. Snow melts, the glaciers here. This just a waterfall near Bozeman. We went hiking. So that's Highlight Falls. And then we went up to Glacier. It's in the northwest portion of Montana. So we went up there for a few days. We went along with our friends from Bozeman, because they had never been there, lived in Montana for 20 years and had not been to Glacier. Glacier is famous for its highway to the Sun road. This road is probably about, if it's 15 feet wide, I'm probably giving it some. And it is very windy, and it has a 3,000-foot drop off with no shoulder. Wow. And it has carvings of rock coming out. So there's no campers allowed. Like anything that has higher than 12 feet can't go over on the road. So we went up there. So this is at the top of getting up to the top. And above it, the first day we went up there, it rained and it was cloudy. You don't have any choice. So we went up anyway. And these are just some pictures, and you can see the glaciers in the background. It's got a lot of glaciers, some more. That is that's the McDonald Creek that runs in McDonald Lake through the middle of, and the going to the Sun Highway comes along here and comes up. So we're about halfway up the going to the Sun Road. There's a waterfall off in the Sac. Here's glaciers up here. More pictures. These mountains are in the 9 to 10,000 foot range. This is McDonald. This is St. Mary's Lake. This is after you go over Logan Pass Glacier. It's famous for this island out here. A lot of hiking and trails around. A lot of fires up there, a lot of fires. And you know, a lot of this, if you notice the haze here in the other pictures too, they had a lot of smoke from the fires that were prevalent over in California and Oregon there. So much so that they blocked out some of the scenery. But you can see they had a forest fire here at one point in time. And there's a trail that we hiked to. Again, more pictures. All right, so this is the Trail of the Cedars. It's a paved trail that goes around these huge cedars, and it has an Avalanche Creek that goes through it. And this is just one of the pools in Avalanche Creek. That was the first day, and now the second day, the sun came back. It got a little bit clearer, and we had a good day. We went down to St. Mary's Falls. At St. Mary's Falls, it goes into St. Mary's Lake that we just saw previous. We hiked down there to that. And now you can see it was clear this day. This is Monday. They have a thing up at Logan Pass. It has a huge parking lot, but if you don't get there like at 8 o'clock in the morning, you don't get a place to park. And they had a couple of park police out there, you know, doing traffic. So, you know, people try to park wherever they can, and they'll hike back up. But, you know, a lot of hiking trails. So, and here's part of the road right here. You know, you can just go on maps and look at it and see how windy it is. It's extremely. If you're afraid of heights, you better close your eyes going up there. That's all I can say. And you know, these are all glaciers that you see here in the background. This is McDonald Lake. Avalanche Lake, I'm sorry. We walked up by the Trail of Tears and walked up to Avalanche Lake. That's about a 3.5 mile hike up there to get this view, sit there and then walk back. Everybody goes up there, they buy these $60 cans of bear spray in case you run into a black bear or grizzly bear. So I didn't buy any because I had my friends there, so. Okay, so we spent some time while we were in Salt Lake City, and this is just for those. This is the Mormon Temple complex. This is the Assembly Hall, and that's the temple. Temple was under construction, so I wanted to throw that in. We also spent a day in Park City before we headed to Arches. This is Arches. So Arches, right outside of Moab. We stayed in Moab. Canyonlands is also in Moab. So this is the Garden of Eden. This is about 3,000 feet right above the town of Moab. This is Turret Arch. We took a hike there to Turret Arch. And this is the north window and the south window right there by Turret Arch. And you just hike up there to that. You'll see this right now. There we are at one of the hike up there. Look that over. And this is looking out from the arch out there. This is called the double arch. See both arches there? And you can hike up into there and back. They're kind of restrictive on where you hike, you know, because of the wildlife that's in and around there. This is called the Devil's Garden. All these boulders, it was closed while we were there because you have to go with a park guide to get in there, and they just didn't have any park guides available. Mm. This is called the Pothole Arch. All kinds of arches there. I'm telling you, all kinds of arches. Here's Balanced Rock. That rock sitting up there on top, you know, weathered away by the wind and the water. And then this is Park Avenue. This is what it looks like when you first come in and get up on top of Arches and you're driving. This is what you see. So that was Arches. Now Canyonlands, this is Canyonlands, is divided into 3 areas, 3 separate venues. They have Island in the Skies, which is this, and they have the Needles, and then they have the Maze. The Maze is only for 4-wheel drive vehicles, not all-wheel drive vehicles, 4-wheel drive vehicles. So we went up to the Island in the Sky first, and it's about 40 miles north of Moab. And this is the Mesa Arch. This arch is a famous arch because a lot of the photographers go up here at sunrise and get the sunrise back over here, and it lights this up. Now here are the canyons that we're talking about. It's unbelievable. And the pictures just don't do justice, but these canyons are unbelievable. More pictures. This is just at, okay, you just want to, you know, looking out, and I saw that spire, I had to take a picture of it. Here's a road that you can actually drive if you've got a 4-wheel drive vehicle. It starts way down here, and it comes all the way around and does all these U-turns and stuff, and you can drive if you've got a 4-wheel drive vehicle. I mean, so. And there's part of the road again, and over there, but over here. But these are the Canyonlands. And this is on the way to the next one, which was the Needles. And it's about 60 miles south of Moab, and a couple of pinnacles on the way there. This is a cowboy camp in Cave Springs. You know, there's sort of a cave, and they had a cowboy camp, and they put that there where they used to have cowboys come in, and that's where they would weather or get out of the weather. Some of the rough terrain around there. This is called the Elephant Hill. This is called Slip Rock. That's a cairn right there, because this is all rock here, and so they have trails there. So this, you got to follow the cairns to go on the path. This is called Pothole Point. Still, we're still in the Needles. And then we spent a day there and going around Moab, and these are petroglyphs. I don't know if you can see those very well, but those are petroglyphs right up there. See it? See these right here? People looking at them, pointing to them. Done by the Indian. Don't ask me how they got up there. Okay, so here are dinosaurs.
Is that a painting?
What's that?
Is that paintings?
No, those are kind of like, well, paintings or scratches into the rock. These are actually dinosaur prints on this rock. So fossilized or whatever. And I had a hell of a time getting up there to that. Okay. But anyway, that's dinosaur. This is the Colorado River, the famous Colorado River that goes into the Grand Canyon. It goes right down through downtown Moab, as does the Garden River, the Green River, I'm sorry. It's just about 3,000 feet between here, just looking up there. Again, that's what you saw where those petroglyphs were. Some more of the Needles. This is called, again, Elephant Hill. More of Elephant Hill. And this is the end of the road out here. Really, it's not a road. It was a dirt road. And then it was 4-wheel drive from there on. This is over near Slip Rock, some more rocks. Okay, so now we're in Zion. Zion was just awesome. has the Virgin River that goes through it. We stayed in St. George, which is about 45 miles away, and drove to Zion. In Zion, you're not allowed to drive into the main part of the national park. You have to have a pass and get on a bus, and the bus lets you off at various stations. So we got a pass, and this is a Riverside Walk. And this is the Virgin River looking back into Zion. Some more. Just beautiful country there. Again, the Virgin River. All right, so they have a road there. It's called the Zion to Mount Carmel Highway, and it goes up about 5,000 feet, right at the juncture of where you go in with the bus, and the other one goes off the other way. You can see part of the road here. So I stopped at various observation points to get these pictures. It's just unbelievable. So these are pictures. It's 3 mountain goats there, just laying there watching people take their pictures. There's some more up here grazing. And then we continued on the road. There was a 1 mile tunnel up there right through the middle of the rock, which is unbelievable. Then we get to another tunnel, and here's some more mountain goats right next to the highway. Just the terrain up there is beautiful. This is called Checkerboard Mesa on the highway from the checkerboards here. And that, my fellow, is, I think that's the last slide. Yep. Any questions?
Bill, just an observation. The first time I went out to, I was working out of Chicago with Amtrak in the early 80s. Part of my territory was on the northern route through Montana, out to Whitefish, Montana. I remember my first trip out there driving, and I could see the Grand Teton Mountains off in the distance. I'm just thinking, oh, we're about an hour away. No, it was like 6 or 7 hours. You lose all depth perception when you're out there. Things look a lot closer than what they really are. And it was just huge. It was beautiful. And it was just a whole lot of nothing.
Yeah, we stayed in Whitefish when we were at, because of the COVID, they only had one entrance open at Glacier.
Yeah.
So that was the one that was over by Whitefish and Cateston.
I guess a question for you. I guess you really had to plan out your gasoline stops with.
Well, the gasoline, yeah, I mean, yeah, there was only one day that I had a problem, and that was when I was in Moab. And we were out there, and I said, oh my goodness, we should have gassed up. Yeah, I would gas it up. Like when we were in Jackson, I would gas up every day to go up. So yeah. Any other questions? It's a bucket list. If you, I mean, hey, if you ever get the opportunity, we didn't get to go to Bryce Canyon, which is between Canyonlands and Zion, but it's about like Zion. We also wanted to go to Four Corners, or talked about going to Four Corners, but we were told that you just can't go to Four Corners. It's on Navajo reservation, and you have to have a Navajo guide, and you have to arrange that, and so anyway.
Those are beautiful shots.
Hey, Bill.
Yes.
What are the speed limits out there? So you do a lot of driving.
They're on the secondary roads, they're 70, and on the interstate, they're 80.
Probably run into a cop about every 1,000 miles or so, I guess, huh?
Yeah, I'm sorry, my Diane corrected me. I meant Monument Valley on the Navajo, not Four Corners. Yes, Dave.
You're on mute, Dave. Dave, you're on mute.
Great trip. Thank you very much for those slides. I've been to Jackson Hole, but I've never been to the other places. And I really appreciate you sharing that. Thank you.
Yeah,
You're welcome.
very nice.
It's very good. Oh,
Hey, Bill, will you send us the 6 parks you were in?
Sure.
List? Okay, and now the good news is I'm recording this because it's like drinking from a fire hydrant. So you can go back when I send you the YouTube link, and you can look at this and maybe stop, because some of the pictures, Bill, were simply awesome. Thank you so much.
Oh.
My
Next
pleasure.
time, invite me, Bill. Next time, invite me. I'll pay half for the gas.
Take a number, Chuck, you know? I want to go too.
Fortunately, we got to have they gave us a Highlander, a Toyota Highlander for our vehicle, which was great. So.
Yeah.
Thanks,
You're
Bill.
welcome.
Okay.
Bill Payne.
Yes.
When am I scheduled to ring the bell?
Next meeting, you ring the bell.
No, for the Salvation Army.
Oh, for the Salvation, Thursday at noon.
This Thursday?
Yes.
Okay, well, I just want to advise my Rotarian members that my sister passed on Tuesday. So, and the funeral is Saturday.
We're sorry, Jackie.
Well, she suffered from COPD, and she had been unwell for a long time, so.
Jackie, was that your sister that lived over in Hampton or Newport News?
Newport News, yeah.
Yeah.
But she was staying with her daughter. Her daughter had come and gotten her and taken her with her back home to Wisconsin.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry to hear that, but I know from talking to Bill, she was ill for a long time.
Thank you. Okay, Bill, I'm done.
All right, Jackie. With regard to what we think, say, and do, 1, is it the truth? 2, is it fair to all concerned? 3, will it build goodwill and better friendships? 4, will it be beneficial to all concerned? And Stanley?
Will we have some fun?
See you next week, folks.
Yeah.
Bye.